The Super Mario Bros. Movie. This was a movie I wasn't too highly anticipated for, but I really was participated for. As you all will probably guess by now, I'm actually a big Mario Bros. Fan, ever since I first played it on the Nintendo 64. And when hearing they were doing a Super Mario Bros. Movie in CGI, especially when it came from Illumination, I thought this movie was gonna be bad. Like close to being Minions or Secret Life of Pets bad. So I went with my two brothers to go see the movie and I loved it. I don't see why critics are too hard with this movie, but the audience simply loved this movie. Considering there's so many people who are a Nintendo Mario Bros. Fan, and I'm suggesting the critics aren't. This movie, I have to say, was incredibly great to watch, especially when everything looked like it was in a video game, like some of those cutscenes that you would see in a video game. It's like you're sitting in a movie theater as you're playing a video game. The narrative of the story is pretty kind of much weak, because it's pretty much the same cliche I've seen in every movie before, where someone's parents isn't really proud of them in the very beginning. They go on some crazy adventure, and in the very end, the parents actually are so grateful for their child. I've seen this old cliche before, thousands of times in different movies, from Disney to Warner Brothers to DreamWorks, and yet they decided to do it with this one. But does that make the movie bad? Hell no, of course not. The animation, the visuals, the sound effects, and even the music is so freaking great. I just fell in love partly with this movie, because once again, like I said, I'm a Mario Bros. Fan, and I played Mario Kart Wii, one of my favorite Mario games of all time. Even I played Super Princess Peach. And I'm pretty much not gonna hesitate to say this. This is probably my favorite Illumination movie. Some of the voices in this movie I find a little bit off, and there are times I can really actually enjoy and get into them. Chris Pratt being Mario can be a double-edged sword, depending how you hear it. There would be sometimes that Chris Pratt would actually get the character, then there would be a time where he doesn't get him. It's like he's talking into the mic like he doesn't even know the character Mario at all. I think so much that the other Mario character from The Great Rescue of Princess Peach actually had more personality than this one did. And that was my first Mario Brothers movie I actually saw. I never did see the live action one, but I heard of how a lot of hate it actually got. Even from John Leguizamo himself. And speaking about Luigi, I think Charlie Day was actually excellent as Luigi. Very supportive, but he's very pessimistic and paranoid at the same time. I'm so grateful he actually captured this character so much nicely, but it's too bad that Luigi never had so much screen time in the movie. Maybe they might actually do a movie with him, and especially when Princess Daisy might actually appear. As for Princess Peach, she is my favorite character of all time, period. I played her so much in Mario Kart Wii that I've never lost a single race playing this character. And there has been so many criticisms of some people that didn't like Samantha Kelly being the voice of Peach. But you know what? Anya Taylor-Joy can be a hit and miss with her, because he makes it sound like she's more of an adult than a teenager. It's just my nitpick about it, because if you're a person who's used to hearing Snow White and Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs talk, then you would pretty much get over it with Samantha Kelly being the voice of Peach in this way throughout the movie. I really don't have too much to say about Keegan-Michael Key actually being Toad, except for the fact I thought that was Kevin Hart, because, I'm sorry to say that, because he sounded like that rabbit from Secret Life of Pets. But I gotta admit, he was a good comic relief, especially when he's supportive to Princess Peach. And I do play him in Mario Kart Wii every once in a while. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was pretty much unexpected, but I like some of the music they actually brought back, you know, with the DK.
Donkey Kong, he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well.
He did get annoying to me every once in a while throughout the movie, especially when he felt like Mario was flirting with Peach during on the Rainbow Road course. But I think the best voice acting ever well played out throughout this movie would have to go to
Open the gates!
Jack Black as Bowser. Holy shit, I didn't even expect him to actually be in a Mario Bros. Movie. Hell, in fact, I didn't expect him to actually be the voice of Bowser. He did make this character funny but threatening at the same time. Even had some good fun moments. Especially one song that made me facepalm and made me feel cringeworthy at the same time, and that would be
Peaches, 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 oh yeah!
And you know, personally, the more I think about Elton John being more gayer than he is, the more I'd rather be thinking about this song instead of just listening to him all the time. Because I never expect them to make a song about Bowser simping over Princess Peach. Then again, and like in the video games, Bowser has always been falling in love for Peach. And another thing I forgot to mention about Peach, she actually played so much of a big role in this movie than she did in the video game, where she doesn't actually need the rescuing, being the damsel in distress kind of routine. In the Super Princess Peach game, she had to rescue Mario and Luigi in that game. And I wouldn't mind running into a person who behaves and acts like Princess Peach. But besides how good the characters are and how great the animation is, I just love all the references that they actually brought in this movie from other Mario Brothers games. Even the original voice actor of Mario was actually in the commercial during the beginning of this movie. That was a really nice touch. I did actually like the battle between Mario and Donkey Kong, especially you can actually guess what that game reference is. It wouldn't take a third grader to figure this out if they actually knew the Mario Brothers. And I love how faithful they are. When the character actually gets hit, they lose the superpower. You know, with the mushroom, the flower, the star. Maybe not the star, but I like how the invincibility was, especially with Mario and Luigi, how they just kicked Bowser's ass in the end of the movie. And I did like the little scene that was after the post-credits of this movie. I just hope this year that Disney can actually start getting their shit together, because this Mario Bros. Movie is kicking their asses. Because right now, this is probably the highest grossing animated feature film of the year by far. Because as of right now, this is going to be an impossible film to actually beat at the box office. Because right now, this movie was on a $100 million budget. And at the box office, it kicked the living hell out of a bunch of Koopas for $434.5 million.
It's insane, right?
But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Especially when Nintendo actually collabed with Universal Studios and Illumination. If you're a huge Mario Brothers fan, then you'll have no problem enjoying this movie. But if you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, well, you can still actually give this movie a watch. Because honestly, I like both Mario and Sonic. So for myself, I really enjoyed this movie, and I wouldn't mind going back to see this movie in theaters again. But somehow I wouldn't see it so many times like I have seen the movie Megan 5 times in the movie theaters. I wasn't too much of a huge Mario Brothers fan before, until I played Mario Kart Wii, then I started being a huge fan on it. So this is a strong, highly recommendation to watch this movie. Because normally video game adaptations into movies normally fail, if they're not done correctly. But this movie, it has its flaws, but at least it doesn't stop it from being good. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna go hit the controller so I can play Mario Kart again.
Bitches! Bitches! Bitch!
I'd rather kill myself.